Hey there, guys. Real Diversity here. We're here with a review slash prediction of the next episode of My Hero Academia. Basically, episode 3 of season 4. I'm not as sure on the exact number episode. It's like episode 65, maybe. You'll know by the title of this video. Uh, but just wanted to let you guys know this is a prediction video for non-manga readers such as myself. So I haven't read the manga. I just strictly keep up with anime because I just like it like that. I read some mangas, sometimes I don't, just depending on how much sometimes the mangas can be good, but this is just type of it's just a better anime than I would rather watch it as an anime than a manga, so that's why I don't keep up with that. But we're just gonna jump right into it first with a review, then we're gonna predict for the next episode. And we see most of my predictions have been pretty accurate because I've seen quite a bit of anime, and usually they kind of follow a lot of same rules. So okay, so we're just gonna jump right in to the review. So review wise, the episode, we'll start with the beginning. So basically, Overhaul, I'm pretty sure that was his name or quirk ability. Overhaul, the guy with the bird-looking beak, simplest way to describe him. Sometimes people don't know by names, so I might just give descriptions after the name. But Overhaul attacked the League of Villains, and the difference between Overhaul and his group and the League of Villains, basically, his League of Villains are just evil to be evil, or they're just villains to just put terror or for power and things like that. The Overhaul's group basically are just common thugs, thieves. They're just organized crime members, things like that. So like basically mob members, stuff like that. So they do what they do for money, pretty much, and things like that, and maybe power and stuff like that. But obviously they have different motives. And a villain is, we can go to Stein, Killer Stein, Hero Killer Stein, and he was a villain, but his villain and his motives were strictly, he didn't feel like most of the heroes were out there were real. He felt like they were all fake, and he felt like the only true hero was like All Might. So he felt like everyone else was just a fake hero until he saw, obviously some people were better, real heroes like that. Like he saw Midoriya. What if I'm saying it wrong? I'm gonna just say Medora. I feel like it's Midoriya. It's definitely Midoriya. But yeah, he felt like he was also a true hero and things like that. But also, okay, so they had a little conflict there. Some League of Villain members died. Or just one got injured. One died. I probably should have put a spoiler. I'll have. I would just leave like a little thing, title or something, so you would know it was spoilers. But yeah, we're reviewing episode 2 of season 4. So if I think I made that clear at the beginning, if I didn't, so basically, yeah, it's gonna be spoilers if you aren't started. So basically reviewing episode 2, and we're gonna predict episode 3 by the end of this video. If I didn't summarize that for everyone, there you go. So a few members, it was just a little scrimmage, basically. Got Overhaul. Got Overhaul had a scruffle with Tumara, the current leader of the League of Villains. S rank, X rank. He's a S rank villain. I don't know. I couldn't get that out. But yeah, so he is. Obviously, they're both were threats, I guess. But basically, it was just to show that right now there's no need to. There's no. So basically, we were misled. If you strictly just follow up with the anime, misled at the end of season 3, because at the end of season 3, we assumed Overhaul was gonna join the League of Villains, but now it apparently seems like they're gonna go against each other. So but we know, or from my, well, I don't want to start predicting yet. So I'm gonna just say so far, they had a scuffle, and that was pretty much the first half of that episode. Pretty surprising. And a notable thing, if you didn't know, is Dobby wasn't there. He wasn't in that, or at the scene or anything like that. So that may be something to note later on. He could have been doing something else important at the time, but we may not know, or he just could not have been there. But it could be some significance in that. And then so later in the episode, Midoriya talked to All Might about meeting his sidekick back in the day, Sir Knight. So later, Midori, well, basically, so it wasn't too much. Well, it was pretty. Let me think. I watched it earlier today. I'm just making sure I'm not didn't miss anything. League of Villains fought the Thugs and Midoriya. I can only remember the beginning and the end. I'm trying to think what happened in between. Nothing pretty much. Oh, also another noticeable thing I did notice was that Bakugo and Todoroki were both going somewhere to basically train or study or something like that for their licenses. Okay, so they got their or they're trying to get their license, and so basically the last notable thing was Sir Night Eye, or I'm gonna just say Sir Knight, but his name is like Night Eye. But I'm gonna just say Sir Knight. It just sounds, I think, smoother, and maybe that's how I feel like that's how they say it too. What's his name? Mario took All Might asked Mario to take Midoriya to see Sir Knight to join his agency, which they did at the end. Midori failed to make him laugh. Was definitely or that was what is implied. And then also after watching the preview at the end, it was a little, I want to say, look, it was kind of confirmed that it was true. I was thinking after seeing that that just left it as a cliffhanger just to make it seem like that, but actually he was like start laughing once the next episode picked up. But apparently he probably didn't go. He probably didn't actually laugh, basically. Is how I feel that went there. But that was probably the last notable thing there. All Might did not another notable thing though was that All Might was hesitant and did not want to let Midoriya go to Sir Knight. Two reasons. Well, it was he listed some reasons of his own, and also he is just not ready to get in contact with Sir Knight for reasons he explained in the episode. But yeah, it was definitely notable to why. And he was also one of the ones who voted for, he didn't want first years to basically do the programs, which is interesting enough. And I wonder why. Sometimes is Midoriya still a first year, and why haven't they moved up yet? I'm still curious on that subject, because at this point it seems like I don't know. It feels like Midoriya will pretty much, or maybe they're waiting to do a skip or whatever. That he basically, well, they do skips, but surprisingly it's still a first year. If you really think about it, I'm pretty sure they skipped, like it was like months after, from season 1, when the League of Villains attacked them at the museum or training facility. I can't remember which one it was. But when they attacked them later, the season 2 picked up a couple months later after that attack. And then they got attacked again. And then it was a couple months or weeks. And then the fight with All Might and One for All. And then I think it's been a couple weeks, because people know he's retired. So and they said it's starting to like creep into society about like what are they gonna do since All Might's gone there. And I find that interesting. All Might is he's definitely he definitely is definitely I'm sorry for saying definitely so many times. They definitely I said it again. For sure though, they haven't even really shown, I don't even think, how much influence he really has had. You know, obviously, we've seen through Midoriya that he's obviously big to him, but like that's really how almost everyone sees All Might, as we saw in the first episode of this season with that camera guy. I never caught his name, but that guy also had a big influence by All Might, and apparently All Might, just like he ended. Also, another thing they noted was that All Might ended the crime era of like organized crime. That era ended basically when All Might stepped on the scene. So they really have shown, but not really shown just how big All Might really was in his prime and things like that back in the day. But yeah, so I'm really curious as to the type of training Sir Knight would do with Midoriya, or just the type of teaching, because Midoriya basically he learned from. He's basically learned. Well, you know, I don't think Midoriya is officially really had like no one-on-one training from All Might himself. I'm curious as to why. What he did early on, but it wasn't really like, you know, I'm waiting on that Naruto Jiraiya bond. I'm waiting on that. But we did get something a little early on with him, getting him prepared to take his power and stuff like that, or to get used to it. And then so later we saw Grand Tornado, I think, or train Midoriya for a minute, and then that was it. And so now he's gonna go Sir Knight. And also, if you guys didn't know, All Might had one more other sidekick, which I think everyone knows that, but also potentially he could also potentially go train with that other sidekick too, to get like the full on experience with that. But so far, yeah, season 4 is My Hero Academia is definitely they have not had any dull moments. They haven't had any filler pretty much episode. Even when the slow episodes are pretty cool too, but it's just been pretty much straight action since it's pretty much stepped on the scene in the anime. So it hasn't disappointed so far in season 4. And we're only on episode 2, and it feels like it's definitely building up already. So, it's gonna be interesting to see how this next season plays out, or this season plays out. But yeah, so we're gonna start now with the prediction. So we're gonna start with the League of Villains. So obviously, it kind of displayed Overhaul. Kind of busted in there. He took out one of the League of Villain members, and he injured another one. But I don't think at all that Overhaul will he will be the leader, take over everything like that. Current League of Villain leader will probably remain, and Overhaul will either fall in line or be dealt with, and his group will probably be dealt with. One of the two, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, I really don't see Overhaul joining, so I really want to say he just gets dealt with on that one. But that one probably will be way later to come. And also, like I said, Dabi wasn't there. Also, that he could play an important part later on, or he may not even be rolling with the League of Villains no more. Or, you know, I don't know so much with that, but I'm pretty sure Dabi's a lieutenant for the League of Villains, so I doubt he's just like gone. And also, but those guys are like, everyone at that warehouse were lieutenants basically, and usually so earlier in the season, or season 1, when they attacked them at that little museum or a training facility, I can't remember which one it was. I think it was a training facility. When they attacked them there was a bunch of goons there also, so those were just like troopers and stuff like that. But those higher ups are all lieutenants in a sense. So yeah, So I think yeah, he's just gonna fall in line, and pretty much he's just gonna motivate the current leader of the League of Villains to probably come with a plan or stuff like that. So I don't think yeah, that overhaul is gonna have much impact in currently or anything like that. And now moving on to Midoriya in that situation, it's gonna be interesting to see. Obviously, I watched the preview, and apparently it's gonna be like Midoriya is gonna have a test of some sort, probably to display his power, maybe, or something like that. But anyways, it's obviously gonna, in my, we all know it's gonna pretty much go smooth with him and Sir Knight, and then Mirio is gonna be there as well. So them three are gonna be pretty great, like I think I said earlier. And then Bakugan and Todoroki are gonna obviously they're gonna get their hero license. It's definitely for sure gonna happen. No, I don't. I just think everything's gonna play out right now. It's not, no conflict's gonna come up right now. There's gonna still constantly be, like I said, it's gonna definitely, conflict's gonna be later in the season for sure. Right now, everyone's training. I think we're gonna really get back into that student learning, training mode, and then the League of Villains are gonna be probably racking up on numbers, and then society's gonna also be pretty much just like, man, All Might's gone. What's gonna happen? So they're gonna start, really thinking about that. And besides that, I don't think anything crazy is gonna happen too soon. The next episode for sure, we know, is gonna be strictly about, or most likely, I'm pretty sure, strictly about just Midoriya and Sir Knight and Mirio. And I think just them three in that agency. I think that's what that next episode is gonna pretty much be about. And also another thing with Sir Knight. Also, Sir Knight was looking at, this was something notable too. I meant to mention this earlier when I was reviewing the episode. Sir Knight was looking at videos, and she was going over a review. His assistant was going over a review of that incident with the League of Villains and Overhaul. So that was interesting right there to see that Sir Knight has, and I think Sir Knight was maybe I can't remember, but he was watching something at the end of season 3. He was watching something, and I can't remember, was it Midoriya or something? He was definitely looking at something related to current events. But yeah, he's definitely on top of it when it comes to basically what's going on out there. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting to see that what him and Midoriya and Mirio are all gonna be doing, because those are like all top heroes right there. So my overall prediction for next episode is basically just Midoriya, Sir Knight, and Mirio just all basically smashing it together. And I don't think anything else will go down. Nothing too dramatic or anything like that. So I think that's pretty much it for this episode. If you guys enjoy, if you guys like this, if this is what you're looking for, I didn't mean for this to be so long, but I just really wanted to summarize that, talk about it. I'll definitely start writing scripts down, so it'll probably go a little quicker in the future. So if you don't want to like wait for 20 minutes, or sometimes people like me, I just like to listen to podcasts, stuff like that while I'm doing stuff like playing Xbox or just doing some of my free time. But yeah, we're also Dr. Stone, we're gonna come out with a review / prediction for that as well for the next episode. And then this is our first review prediction of My Hero Academia. Like I said, we will start coming up with some scripts and stuff, so it'll just be a little quicker, a little more smoother and stuff like that. But if this was what you're looking for, guys, hit that like button, subscribe. Real Diversity